Hello everyone. In this video, we'll cover the current affairs for March 11 to March 20. Let's get started. National Land Monetization Corp approved by Cabinet. So Union Cabinet led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi has approved the establishment of the National Land Monetization Corporation as a wholly owned Government of India corporation with an initial authorized share capital of 5,000 crore students. Now, this corporation would monetize surplus lands and building assets owned by central public sector enterprises students. So basically, this is an organization that is going to take care of the monetization of all the government asset students, in this case, particularly the land assets, right? So this idea is in accordance with the 2021-22 budget announcement. And, the central public sector enterprises, they currently have a large amount of surplus, idle and underutilized non-core assets in the form of land and buildings. So in one of the previous videos also, I had spoken about the National Monetization Plan, wherein the government is looking to monetize or generate value and revenues from the unutilized assets of the government, right? So in this case, this particular organization would focus on the land and building assets of several central public sector enterprises which are lying underutilized, right? And this would allow for the productive use of these assets. For example, they're going to, lease the underutilized land of, say, for example, Coal India and say ONGC. So these companies, they're like behemoths, they're like big companies, and they've got a lot of assets which are lying underutilized. So they would lease those land and buildings to the private sector, and they're going to put it to use and generate revenues out of it, which would, a part of it would be shared with the government. So basically, this will allow for the productive use of these assets, resulting in private sector investments, new economic activity. It would boost the local economy. It would lead to employment generation, and of course, generation of financial resources for economic and social infrastructure. And to ensure professional operations and management of the organization, the board of directors of NLMC would be made up of senior central government executives and recognized specialists. Moving on. Students, National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development, NABFID, as you can call it. So this has been announced by the RBI students. So basically, this is National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development. And it has been announced by the RBI, and it would be regulated and supervised by its students as an all India financial institution. Now, what is the objective behind this bank, students? So as the name suggests, it's a national bank for financing infrastructure and development, right? So students, this bank has been set up as a development financial institution, DFI. So DFI is a very important concept, students. So what is a development financial institution? So basically, we all know that, India, if it wants to achieve, its dream of being a $5 trillion economy, it will have to, push, or it will have to develop its infrastructure, right? And currently, that's one area where we majorly lag in. So now, infrastructure development, students, requires long-term financing, right? And the commercial bank students, they mobilize the short to medium term public deposits and lend it further to projects for the similar maturities, right? That means it lends it to, or it prefers lending to projects which require short and middle term financing. But infrastructural financing is unique in the sense that it requires long-term financing, because there are like very long gestation periods. The returns are generated after a long duration of time. The investments are spread over a long period of time, students, right? So because of all these reasons, the commercial banks fail to meet the need of infrastructural development. So It is with this objective that development financial institutions have been formed, students, and NAPFID is one such bank that has been established, and it has been recently announced by the RBI and will be regulated and supervised by the RBI itself, right? So recently, presently, RBI has 4 AIFIs under its name, its supervision. So Exim Bank, NABARD, NHB, and SIDBI, students. And the 5th AIFI, which is All India Financial Institution, students, is going to be NAPFID, students, right? And it's going to be in the nature of development financial institution. The chairman is going to be KV Kamath. Next, students, 6 Indian airports named the ACI World's ASQ Awards 2021. So basically from India, 6 airports they've found a place among the best airports by size and region by the Airports Council International, students, in its Airport Service Quality Survey. So basically there's this organization called ACI, Airports Council International, and it has released the findings of its Airport Service Quality Survey for the year 2021, students. So here the airports have been adjudged among the Asia Pacific region in different categories based on annual passenger traffic. And 6 Indian airport, students, have figured in the in this list. So Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport, Indira Gandhi International Airport, Rajiv Gandhi International Airport, and Cochin International Airport, and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport, and Chandigarh Airport. So basically, these are the 6 airports that have figured in this as some of the best airports of the world, according to this survey. Moving on, students, Jyotiraditya Scindia inaugurates first drone school at Gwalior in Madhya Pradesh, students. So this is first of its kind initiative. So this drone school has been jointly inaugurated by Union Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia and Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Now, this drone school is one of the 5 drone schools planned to be opened in different cities of Madhya Pradesh. And the reason behind this is that the government views drone industry as having huge employment potential, students, employment generation potential, particularly for people with technological backgrounds like engineers and technicians. So in order to harness this employment potential of drone industry, it is important that we skill our workforce, our youth, in this technology, students, right? So this drone school of Gwalior will not only pave the way for the youth of Madhya Pradesh to move forward by connecting them with technology, but it will also increase employment opportunities, and it will prove to be a milestone in the progress of Madhya Pradesh along with Gwalior. Next, students, India's first medical city, Indrayani Medicity, would be set up in Maharashtra, students. So the state government of Maharashtra has announced to set up country's first medical city named as Indrayani Medicity in Pune to provide all kinds of specialized treatment under one roof, students. So students, basically, it was realized and was observed that during this whole pandemic, how our public healthcare system collapsed and could not deal with it, So it was realized that we need more of such, specialty and super specialty treatment centers to meet the healthcare needs of a country as big as India. So with that view, or with that objective, students, Indrayani Medicity has been announced, and it will have hospitals, centers for medical research, pharmaceutical manufacturing, wellness, and physiotherapy. So all these wide-ranging healthcare and medical services would be provided under one roof, students, and it will be the first of its kind city in the country to have all the treatments available at one place. Next, students, Prabha Narasimhan has been named as the CEO of Colgate Palmolive India. So Colgate Palmolive, students, a very well-renowned organization under HUL. So Prabha Narasimhan has been appointed as the CEO and MD of Colgate Palmolive, and prior to this, she was working as executive director of HUL. And Colgate Palmolive, students, as we all know, it provides oral care products under the Colgate brand, and it also provides personal care products under the Palmolive brand. Next, students, CIPRI report, India emerges as largest importer of arms. So there's this report known as, which is released by CIPRI, which is the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute students, right? And it has released its latest report on trends in international arms transfer, right? Basically on the export and import of arms, defense arms, students, right? And as per the report, India and Saudi Arabia have emerged as the largest importer of arms between 2017 and 21, students. Both the countries accounted for 11% of all global arms sales. And the report placed India at the top of the list, students. That means India has emerged as the biggest importer of arms, students. This also, realizes, or this also awakens us to the fact that India needs to develop its indigenous defense manufacturing and arm industry, students. And the government is already on it with the DRDO taking the lead. So 85% of India's overall imports were from these countries and were from Russia, France, and USA. So basically, India primarily imported arms from Russia, France, and USA, students. So they were the top 3 largest exporters of arms to India. And USA, with 39% share, retained its standing as the world's largest arms exporter during this period, followed by Russia, France, China, and Germany. Next, students, N. Chandrasekaran has been named as the chairman of Air India. So the chairman of Tata Sons, N. Chandrasekaran, has been appointed as the chairman of Air India. And in February 22, N. Chandrasekaran was reappointed as chairman of Tata Sons for the second term of 5 years, students. So Tata Sons will also soon announce a new MD and CEO for Air India to replace Ilkar Aichi, who was to take charge next month, but resigned in the wake of controversy. So we all know the students that Ilkar Aichi was supposed to take over as the CEO of, newly of this Air India, which has been recently transferred to Tata. So basically, there was this whole controversy around his appointment because of opposition that came from several, agencies in the country, from several groups in the country, because of national security reasons. So it is said that Ilkar Aichi has very close relations with the president of Turkey, students. And we all know that Turkey and India do not enjoy very warm relations. In fact, they have very cold and strained relations. So keeping the national security reasons in mind, students, there was a lot of opposition around it that was generated. So Ilkar Aichi has himself, decided to sort of turn down the offer. So he's not joining, and Tatas have again started with the whole headhunting process. Coming to Chandrasekaran, he also serves as the non-executive chairman of several other Tata Group companies, including Tata Consultancy Services, Tata Motors, Tata Steel, Tata Chemicals, Tata Consumer Products. Next, students, Fortune India, the next 500 list 2022, RailTel ranked 124th, students. So basically, Fortune has released this list of the next emerging 500 companies, which are currently mid-sized companies, right? So a noteworthy, name in this list is that of RailTel Corporation, which is a public telecom company, students, RailTel. So it provided telecommunications infrastructure to the railways. And, this corporation is supposedly doing very well and has in fact jumped by 67 positions from the last edition of the Fortune India 500 list, students. It is the only telecom public sector undertaking of the government of India on the list. And last year it was 197, and this year it has jumped to improve its rank to 124th, students. Apart from RailTel, IRCTC is the only railways PSU featuring in the list, students, at the rank of 309. So there are very few public sector enterprises in this 500 list, students. Moving on, students, Ranjit Rath has been named as the chairman and MD of Oil India. So Ranjit Rath, students, he would replace current chairman and managing director Sushil Chandra Mishra as the chairman and MD of Oil India. And Oil India students, we all know that it is the Indian government-owned second largest crude oil and natural gas producing company under the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas after ONGC, right? So there's a change in leadership in this company. Next, students, a book titled Modi at 20, Dreams Meet Delivery would be released soon. So the Bharatiya Janata Party has announced to release a book on the life of Prime Minister Narendra Modi titled Modi at 20, Dreams Meet Delivery. And it is set to hit the stands in April 22. So basically, students, this book is a compilation of pieces written by intellectuals and experts from the country. And it has been edited and compiled by Blue Craft Digital Foundation students. So basically, it covers the political career and political trajectory of Narendra Modi, ranging from his tenure as a CM to his tenure as a, as a prime minister. And it basically focuses on how he's lived up to his promises and delivered the various promises he made, around his election. So the various contributors to this book, students, Sudha Murthy, Sadhguru, Nandan Nilekani, Home Minister Amit Shah, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, late legendary singer Lata Mangeshkar, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, industrialist Uday Kotak, actor Anupam Kher, badminton star PV Sindhu, and former principal secretary to PM Nripaindra Mishra. So basically, you can see that the contributors come from various domains and fields, and they have basically shared their experiences that they have had, and how they view the Prime Minister and his achievements. So very quickly, some facts about Narendra Modi, students. So he has served as the Gujarat Chief Minister for more than 12 years over 4 terms, making him the longest serving CM of the state. In 2014, Narendra Modi became the 14th person to become the Prime Minister. And a recent survey released in January by Morning Consult Political Intelligence found that PM Modi is the most popular leader globally with a 71% approval rating. So he continues to be the most popular leader across the globe. Next, students, Bhagwant Mann has been sworn in as the new Chief Minister of Punjab. So he's been sworn in as the 18th Chief Minister of Punjab at Khatkar Kalan, the ancestral village of Bhagat Singh, in the presence of Governor B. Purohit. And the Aam Aadmi Party romped home, winning 92 seats in the 117-member Punjab Assembly, decimating the Congress and the, Shiromani Akali Dal and BJP combined. Next, students, National Vaccination Day was celebrated on 16th of March. So, this day was first observed in 1995, and in 22, the National Immunization Day is important since the government of India had started the COVID-19 vaccination for children between 15 to 18 years of age and booster dose for senior citizens on this day, students. Coming to the history of this day, why this day has been basically chosen as the National Vaccination Day. So it was in 1995 that India started the Pulse Polio program, and the first dose of oral polio vaccine was given on this day, students. And according to the WHO, immunization is a process through which an individual's immune system becomes fortified against foreign harm-causing agents. India's first digital water bank aquarium has been launched in Bengaluru. So, students, this is India's first digital water bank, and it is formed by AquaKraft Group Ventures. So, what does digital water bank mean, students? So, basically, it was this bank is going to put in place a curated list of water data from all the institutions. So, basically, data about water availability around the country would be collected from different sources and institution, students. And we all know that data always helps in making better informed decisions, students, right? So it is with this objective that this water bank has been established. So that's all for this video, students. I'll see you soon with another video. Thank you so much.